Hi everyone and welcome back to another lesson. So in today's video we are going to be working on the detailed bits of the typical house that we started modeling. So for example, the bit here, as you can see here, is like a vertical structure right at the end of the roof on the front, and also these brick details here, or the brick banding that runs across throughout, and also you can see here stone structural detail. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing we need to do is any sort of like structural elements. As we can see here, quite a bit of different ways of doing it, but the most easiest way is definitely by using the lathe modifier. So I'll show you how it's quite super easy. So you start off by just tracing your shape like so, and then finishing on in the middle bit. Let's just make sure this middle bit is right at the center. Then what we can do is we can also trace this bit out as well, although we can incorporate a sphere here, but it's probably best just to push everything through the lathe modifier first. Okay, so once that's done, and the other bit, before you apply the lathe modifier, you need to make sure the pivot point is set to the middle so that it can easily rotate around it. So once that's done, what you can do is you can apply a lathe modifier on top of it. The thing we can notice here is it looks quite dark, so that means it might be, the faces might be flipped, so just need to flip the normals like so, and now it's much better. And then you can probably apply a smooth modifier on top of everything just to smooth everything out. There we go. Right, so that's done. Let's move forward to the stone structure here. Super easy, just do a shape like that. It's the same width as the wall. It's 3 of 3. Right click, collapse it down, and then just bring everything in, bring these faces in, make sure they line up. And usually what happens is that all of this area is usually depressed inwards, so I'll show you how you visualize that. So, and then what you can do is you can just push everything in slightly, this particular face. There we go. The other bit you need to do is you need to make sure it is sitting flushed within this wall. So yeah, in order to avoid any unnecessary faces, what you can do is you can actually detach this wall structure and isolate both of them, and now you can start by tracing out the area and where this bit is going to sit. So hold down shift, drag all the way back, boom, you end up with a hole like so, like that. Okay, so now it's all sitting in perfectly. What you can do is you can actually go back and connect it back to the wall, the main wall. Right, okay, next thing we can do is we need to create this structure. So this particular brick detail, so we can see here we got one band of brick on the top and one on the bottom, and then the middle bit is usually a seesaw sort of a structure. So you got one brick out and the other brick in, and that's how it repeats. So in order to model the top and the bottom bit, what we can do is we can actually, let's just trace the whole thing out to the point where it needs to end. We need a spline structure for that. Let's just draw it out roughly like so. Then just position the splines accordingly. by the way, this spline needs to follow the actual wall pattern. So I'm just gonna position it where it needs to go, right next to the wall, like so. And then what I can do is I can actually position the whole thing here. Let's just select everything and also the wall structure as well, so we can concentrate on that bit. Next thing you need to do, you need to apply a sweep modifier. So what you can do is then you need to make sure you align this properly. I think it's probably like 65, probably 5 or even 10 mils should be enough. And then just position the whole thing from here, as you can see here. So you can actually control where you can actually position the sweep. So let's just say we want to make it so that it only appears. Let's just say we want to start it from the edge of the profile. That's how you do it. So let's just position everything else. I think that's going to be 15. It's going to be 75. And the other thing you need to do is make sure you uncheck smooth section and smooth path. That's going to give you proper banding. Yeah, just create an instance of it so that you got 2 copies, like so. And in order to do the banding, your best bet is to create one brick here. Let's just call it like 5 mil, so it's just 5 mil sticking out. Create another one here. Oops. My 3dsmax is a bit twitchy. And then just position everything in the back. And now you can make sure this one is probably 8 and this one is 2, just so that you get an impression that there is a bit of a seesaw effect going on. And now you can just collapse the whole thing down like so, patch it together, and do an array modifier on top of everything. It's quite a powerful modifier that they've added in. I'll tell you exactly how. As you can see here, you can easily change the number of counts however you want. And you got a bunch of other options here which you can explore through. It's a pretty nice set of tools here. And then what you can do is, as you can see here, there's a bit of a gap going on here. You can apply a slice modifier. I'm not going to apply that. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to keep everything as one piece as long as possible, because it's going to give us a better result. So what I mean by that is, if I go here and I put a symmetry modifier and put it right at the edge, and now if I do like a 45-degree, and if I put a smooth modifier on it, boom. Okay, so it just gives a good amount of definition on the corners, especially when it's following the corners. So what you can do is you can now slice the end bit, put a slice modifier on it, and then just move the gizmo right at the edge and just do and remove negatives, and then you can do a cap. There we go. And now you can pretty much do the same for the other side as well. Let's see how that works. So if we do another symmetry modifier right at the edge and do like a 45-degree again, and then just move it right across here. So that's a non-destructive way of working right there. So I'm just going to just move the slice modifier on top of this symmetry modifier. just so everything's clear. I'm gonna remove the smooth modifier on top as well. So as you can see, you can build up quite a lot of different details by not destroying everything, basically. So non-destructive workflow, that's what it is. So in order to combat this, what you can do is you can actually go down this side probably, and you can actually let's just see. Yeah, we can even add a poly modifier right here, to be honest, and then we can just push this right across. Voila. Okay. So what we can do is we can then copy off this bit. Just copy it instead of instancing it, and then just move that around here. You can see it fits in perfectly here, but not so much on the other side. So what we can do is we can actually remove this symmetry modifier, and let's just disable everything here and see what's going on. So we can even remove this one for the timing as well. But yeah, let's just increase the let's keep this one here, and then just increase the amount of objects on this side. Now we go here, everything lines up. Okay, so now we got our seesaw sort of structure for the brakes, and it's gonna look quite nice when we render it. Okay, so now, yeah, in this lesson, so what we covered was the brake detail, the banding detail, the stone detail, and the spire detail. I hope you learned something new in this video. Please like and share, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.